Welcome back, everyone. This is Used Car Salesman GTA Failer, and we begin today's tour with a bit of whimsy. We've got three top fun vans to look at. Oh, how awesome are they? Each of the three fixed spawns of the top fun van starts a different RC mission. So this is obviously the RC Bandit race. And then here in the top of the parking lot right by the mall, we start the RC Baron race. And then the third and final top fun van is over here by the airport. And this is the one we'll be using for our test drive. And it starts the RC Raider pickup. Reading from the wiki, the Top Fun is a van that contains controls for RC cars, helicopters, and planes. The van only exists in Vice City, but it does appear in internal files for Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories, but was cut during the development of those games. The Top Fun van is identical to the Pony, but has flat sides. The van is invariably painted white/gray with Top Fun logos on it. It also emits a different engine noise from the Pony, sounding like a gasoline/petrol engine, unlike the diesel sound emitted by the Pony. Speaking of performance, I think we just rolled there. I always forget how prone to rolling the Top Fun van is. The Top Fun's performance is weak and sluggish. It has pretty much the same handling as its civilian counterpart, the Pony, with no differences, probably due to the fact that it's merely used as a trigger point for the RC challenges rather than a vehicle to be driven directly, although we are going to drive it directly during our test drive. Look out! Oh goodness, I hope we got insurance on this thing over at my dealership. Oh wow, we're still rolling. Come on. Come on, used car salesman GTA failure. All right. Everybody out of the vehicle, please. Don't worry, I am a professional. Okay, this is a totally different attempt, but the same result. And third time's the charm. I cut out the drive, but I decided I needed to start using handbrake turns instead of driving freely with the Top Fun van. Okay, back to the wiki. Prominent appearances in missions. In Demolition Man, Tommy accesses a Top Fun van to control the RC Goblin and plant 4 bombs in Carrington's arrival construction site. In the mission Bombs Away, Tommy accesses a Top Fun van to control the RC Baron and drops bombs over drug trafficking boats owned by the Cubans. Right. So the Top Fun van appears in, the 3 RC missions, the ones that I just showed you, plus those 2 other story missions. Look out, slow down. That's a tank. Everybody careful, buckle up. Oh, easy. We got this. Okay, and then back to the wiki in the trivia section. The name of the van is obviously a pun of Top Gun, a 1986 film. The markings on the side of the van are similar to the logo of the movie. Yeah, pretty cool. So Top Gun, a 1986 action drama film. Now I'm reading from actual Wikipedia, not the GTA wiki. Directed by Tony Scott, produced by Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer. Starred Tom Cruise and who else here? Anthony Edwards. Val Kilmer was in this one. Sybil Shepherd. Nope, not Sybil Shepherd. Kelly McGillis. That's my bad. Okay, anyway, we are done with the Top Fun van. Moving on. Next up is the Trash Master. It has one fixed spawn right here in the junkyard featured in the mission Death Row. Reading from the wiki, the Trash Master is a recurring garbage truck appearing in the GTA series since GTA 3, with the exception of GTA Advance and Chinatown Wars. It's manufactured by Brute in GTA 4 and Joe Built in GTA 5 and GTA Online. Looking at the design, it looks like a garbage truck. The Trash Master remained mostly the same throughout the 3D Universe games, being a triple axle truck with a greenish waste rear loading compactor in the back and having capacity for 2 occupants. Reading from the performance section, slow but a powerful engine, and when at its top speed, it's a threat to other motorists on the road. Not during my test drives. I drive safely, follow all the laws of Vice City. Its durability is slightly worse than expected for a truck of its size, but deformation/body damage is mostly unnoticeable. The truck has a high chance of rolling over when cornering at high speed. That's probably not surprising. Okay, prominent appearances in missions. In the mission Psycho Killer, a trash master suddenly tries to block Tommy's limo in front of the stairs near ammunition. Okay, we talked about the one location and trivia. GTA 3 style Trashmaster appears in Rockstar's Manhunt 2. It's very similar to its GTA 3 counterpart, down to nearly identical textures. The name Trashmaster is likely derived from the real world garbage compactor manufacturer Loadmaster. Okay, and then I don't see anything else here. Oh, wait, one more. No, that's in GTA 4. Yeah, okay, I don't see anything else here about the Trashmaster for Vice City. So let's just get ready for our test drive, again starting right here by the stadium. And as usual, I will pause the game, pause the video, and then start the video up again after I have restored the health and gotten us 6 wanted stars, just to spice things up for our very lengthy test drive here. Some of the vehicles that I thought would do poorly actually surprised me and did kind of well. And then other vehicles that I thought would do well surprised me by doing poorly. And the Trashmaster I thought would do poorly, and it did. Next up is the sporty VCPD Cheetah. It has exactly one fixed spawn right here by the southern police station on the western island. When we take a look at this thing, you can see the light on the dashboard, the passenger side dashboard. And we'll get in. It's just going to say Cheetah, but it is different, right? In the top left, you can see that we could do Vigilante in this one. And there I've turned my siren on. You can see the light flashing on that dashboard. So even though it's labeled as Cheetah in the bottom right, it is definitely different from the standard Cheetah. There's the light flashing again. And in the standard Cheetah, you can't do Vigilante. Okay, reading from the wiki, the VCPD Cheetah is a law enforcement sports car in Vice City, where it's simply named Cheetah, and in Vice City Stories. Let's take a look at the design. It is an undercover police version of the Cheetah used by the Vice City Police Department. That's the VCPD in front of VCPD Cheetah. It's used by the Vice Squad division of the police department. The vehicle is near exactly the same as a regular Cheetah, with only one side mirror in a different position, albeit with the addition of a flashing red strobe light and siren. Similar to the normal Cheetah, the Vice City rendition appears to have a much more detailed interior compared to the Vice City Stories rendition. And in the definitive edition of Vice City, the car only features 3 of the 4 possible mirror wing configurations from the original. And you can activate the Vigilante side mission, just like we saw in the top left corner. Oh, I think this is me just getting annoyed at some burritos that I randomly saw. I'm still salty from many episodes ago when I had to try to spend an hour finding one of those lousy burritos. Okay, the performance, let's see, performs the same as the civilian Cheetah. The acceleration is slightly inferior to other sports cars in the game, but handling, speed, and braking are far superior to all others. Due to its low suspension, it hugs the road and is not prone to rolling over or spinning out of control when cornering at high speeds. This, combined with the ability of a police car, makes the police Cheetah a very useful vehicle in vigilante side missions. And then I'll add, especially because you can take this vehicle to the Pay and Spray during vigilante to get rid of any wanted stars, whereas you can't do that for the police car. All right. Moving on to the trivia section. Okay, let's see. So in Vice City and Vice City Stories, the 2 undercover officers that pursue the player in the VCPD Cheetah are called Officer Cracker and Officer Butts, B-U-T-T-S. They are named after and strongly resemble Sonny Crockett, so that's the Officer Cracker, and Ricardo Tubbs. Tubbs kind of swapping some letters around to become Butts. Those are the 2 primary characters from the landmark 1980s TV series Miami Vice. And I've mentioned already that a bunch of GTA Vice City's setting is based on Miami Vice. Further, the Cheetah itself is styled after the 1986 Ferrari Testarossa, which was Crockett and Tubbs' vehicle of choice in the last 3 seasons of the TV show Miami Vice. If the siren is turned on and the player views the vehicle from the rear, the strobe light will not flash. Unlike other law enforcement vehicles, the VCPD Cheetah in Vice City Stories features a normal radio, whereas here we can only hear it's the police radio. You can't change it from that. And then it says, oh, this is something I didn't know. The VCPD Cheetah can be used in the Sunshine Autos import garage in lieu of a regular Cheetah. Who knew? That's really interesting. So on the third Sunshine Autos import list, one of the vehicles is the Cheetah, regular Cheetah. And in my many attempts at doing that import mission, I've always brought a regular Cheetah. I didn't know that you could bring the VCPD Cheetah. That's pretty cool. Okay, unsurprisingly, the VCPD Cheetah did quite well on our test drive, and it is going to pass with flying colors. And actually, just yesterday in my real life, I learned the difference between an acronym and an initialism. So an acronym is something like SCUBA, where each of the letters stands for a word, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. But um, in SCUBA, you pronounce it as a word, SCUBA, as opposed to saying the letters SCUBA. Whereas VCPD, Cheetah, is an initialism because even though, again, it's an acronym, VCPD for Vice City Police Department, you don't pronounce VCPD as a word, VICPD. You pronounce the initials, and that makes it an initialism. Next up is the Virgo, which has no fixed spawns and is required for the Sunshine Autos import list. Reading from the in-game description of GTA Online, after hours of crate digging, you know when you found the perfect sample to butcher on your latest EDM track. This is that record. Remix culture meets auto culture with the Virgo, a car that's already lower and slower than any road-certified vehicle can afford to be. And trust us, you ain't seen nothing yet. Your old man thought this was stately and composed back when he was curb crawling his way through the 70s, so jack up, jerk it off, and show him how the young folks get down. That's from Benny's Original Motorworks description. Now reading from the wiki. The Virgo Classic, formerly named the Virgo, is a two-door car featured in the 3D and HD universe. Influence. The Virgo is designed to resemble a high-end two-door American coupe with elements borrowed from the 1977 to 1979 Mercury Cougar, the 77 to 79 Lincoln Continental Mark V, and the 74 to 76 Buick Riviera. The side windows, front end, and bulge on the trunk resemble the Cougar. The taillights resemble those of the Continental Mark V, albeit with some lights missing, and the headlights are similar to the Rivieras. Okay, fair enough. And now we will take this very slow Virgo on our test drive. Let's see how it does. I'm not expecting much. Okay, prominent appearances and missions. The only one listed here in Vice City is that aforementioned Sunshine Autos import list. And in terms of trivia, it says the Virgo cameos in a picture from Starkweather's mansion in Manhunt, which again is another Rockstar game. Several safe houses in San Andreas have the same picture hanging on the wall. The picture was originally a beta screenshot for Vice City, where it was called the Cougar in the beta version, further indicating that the vehicle was based on a Mercury Cougar, real-life Mercury Cougar. All right, fair enough. Virgo's name derives from the name of the sixth astrological sign of the zodiac. It is also the Latin name for the Virgin Mary, Virgo. In GTA 4, the car was originally named Virgo. However, an unrelated muscle car of the same name was introduced in GTA 5 as an Albany. Later in the Lowriders Custom Classics update, the GTA 4 Virgo returned, renamed Virgo Classic to prevent the two vehicles from being conflated. Right, so just called the Virgo here, but at some point in the GTA universe during the GTA 4 timeline, it will be renamed the GTA Classic, the Virgo Classic. And why can't these people just leave me alone? I am a mostly honest used car salesman just trying to make a mostly honest living. Okay, so we're trying to avoid tanks, trying to avoid spike strips. And again, make sure you're buckled. This is scary times for GTA Failure. We're smoking, we've lost tires. All right, now we're doing worse than smoking. Oh, put us out of our misery. Goodness. Next up, we have the Voodoo, which has exactly one fixed spawn right over here by Kaufman Cabs and in front of Auntie Poulette's. Reading from the wiki, and actually first from the in-game description from GTA Online. From the bestseller list of the 60s to the driveway of every self-respecting pimp and gangbanger of the 80s, the Voodoo is your best shot at purchasing the grit and authenticity that died out a decade before you were born. This one may look like it's been left under a bypass and used as a makeshift latrine by a family of hobos, but don't worry. With enough money, you can change everything but the stink. This is where a classic starts, eligible for customization at Benny's Original Motor Works. Righto. Okay, the Voodoo is a classic luxury two-door lowrider in Vice City, San Andreas, Vice City Stories, GTA 4, Chinatown Wars, GTA 5, and GTA Online. Fair enough. Okay, looking at the influence with its panoramic windshield and distinctive tail fins, the Voodoo strongly resembles a 1959 to 1960 Chevy Impala. However, instead of the Impala's triple taillights, the Voodoo uses double taillights like those seen on the fourth generation Chevy Bel Air and 1960 Chevy Biscayne. Okay, taking a look at the design in the 3D universe. Oh, this is from the Vice City website here. Extremely popular with Haitian gangbangers, degenerates, and warlords found in Little Haiti. The Voodoo is easily recognizable by the circular headlights within the grille with a trim detail surrounding them and a small bumper below. In Vice City, the car is only available in red, with the exception of the unique black version seen in the Mission 2-bit hit, and has hydraulics instead of a horn. Yeah, I think I'm playing with the hydraulics a little bit here and there, or at least I was on my way up to the stadium. Oh, goodness. Because the Voodoo is classed as a gang car, it cannot be resprayed. Well, I mean, it can be, but the color doesn't actually change. In the beta version of this game, a civilian version of the Voodoo appeared alongside a gang variant, I guess this variant, which was known as the Haitian Voodoo. But the regular Voodoo, the civilian Voodoo, was taken out, and so they just renamed this one the Voodoo instead of the Haitian Voodoo. Okay, moving on. Prominent appearances in missions. So, in the mission Guardian Angels, a bunch of Haitians will arrive in 3 cars to mess up with the meat and try to kill Diaz and his men. And those 3 cars are, well, at least some of them are Voodoos. They're not all, right? Like I thought 2 of the vehicles were vans. So maybe the first one is a Voodoo, and I think there's a second Voodoo that comes in as well. In the mission 2-bit hit, the Haitians make roadblocks with the Voodoo near the funeral, and this is the only time in the game the player can see and steal a unique black body Voodoo. There, I think it was a bad idea for me to have the hydraulics in the up position because it launched me right off of the edge of that bridge. In the mission Trojan Voodoo, the player and the Cubans need 3 Voodoo cars to disguise as Haitians and access the factory. After leaving the cafe, one always spawns at the yard just east. And then I mentioned it's required for Sunshine Auto's import. Next up is the Walton. You can see we're in one right here. It has no fixed spawn, so I had to find one in the wild for you here down in Viceport. From the GTA Vice City website, redneck, trailer trash wagon, marry your sister types. Oh, goodness, swamp trash, and the like. Fabulous. The Walton is a vehicle featured in Vice City, San Andreas, and Vice City Stories. The design. Throughout its appearances, the Walton resembles a 1955 Chevy Task Force with the front of a 1954/1955 Chevy Advanced design. It also features a small stake bed, S-T-A-K-E. Oh, I guess those are the like wooden planks that are on the sides. Stakes, which provides a decent-sized flat surface area, making it a suitable sniper platform. I was thinking about using it as like transporting boxes of IKEA furniture. Sniper platform. Okay, moving right along to the performance. The road-going capabilities of the Walton are underwhelming in most games. In Vice City, the Walton possesses below-average acceleration and speed, and sluggish controls owing to its age, weight, and size. Yeah, but still, we can maybe do our test drive thing and hope to get it to or near the lighthouse. We'll see. It might surprise you. Okay, prominent appearances in missions. In the GTA Vice City mission Gunrunner, several unique white Waltons will spawn loaded with some guns that Phil wants. Also, in the opening cutscene, a Walton is caught in the explosion and destroyed. I don't know which opening cutscene they're talking about. If you know, leave a message in the comments. Like, is it one of the game opening cutscenes from the very first video of this series? I'm trying to think of an explosion. I mean, I guess there was an explosion at the in the helicopter scene. Lots of things exploded there, but yeah, I don't know which cutscene they're talking about. Maybe they're talking about the cutscene of just that film mission that we mentioned. Okay, in Vice City Stories, Phil Cassidy owns a Walton, and let's see, the Walton is destroyed during the events of Vice City as Phil replaced it with a Patriot. Yeah, I'm not really sure. There is a Patriot fixed spawn over at Phil's place that we saw in an earlier vehicles video, but it's talking about a Walton. Maybe the Walton was destroyed in Vice City Stories. Maybe it's one of those cutscenes that they're talking about. Okay, so far so good. The Walton is surprising me in a good way here. Reading from trivia, the vehicle's name may be a reference to the 1970s TV show called The Waltons. Yeah, I assumed. Oh, goodness, this is scary times. Are there tanks nearby? Leave me alone. Oh, we're on two wheels. Oh, easy, easy. Yeah, I assumed that the Waltons was a reference, the Walton named vehicle was a reference to that TV show. And even though I'm old, the TV show was before my time. So I'll read from Wikipedia here about the Waltons, an American historical drama TV series about a family in rural Virginia during the Great Depression and World War II, created by Earl Hamner based on his 1961 book Spencer's Mountain and the 1963 film of the same name. The TV series, The Waltons, aired from 1972 to 1981. Yeah. So the Walton doing surprisingly well here, swerving in and out of traffic. Awesome, awesome. The wiki also mentions that there's a GTA 1 equivalent called the Pickup, with the Liberty City version having an old design. And GTA 5 has the Rat Loader, similar designed vehicle, and GTA Online has the Rat Truck, also similarly designed to the Walton. But the Walton is, like I said, surprising me here with how well it's doing. Keep up the good work. All right, no tanks around. Let's go, let's go. Sorry, ma'am or sir, I couldn't tell. And getting pretty close to the lighthouse. That's nice, nice, nice. Okay, so while we have a minute here, I'll just start jumping into the next vehicle, which is the Washington. The Washington has no fixed spawns. It is required for the import-export garage. On left turn here, can we get all the way to the lighthouse? Okay, wide turning radius, tanks all around. And then typically, as soon as I get over here to the kind of gravelly area, I think we're safe. I think I just let this guy go by me, and he's going to decide to uh, turn himself to the water because he was embarrassed about getting owned by this silly little Walton. But maybe you want to take one of these things home with you today. It did awesome. Good job, Walton. Okay, Washington. Again, reading from, let's see, the Southern San Andreas Super Autos description. Which was featured in GTA 5 and GTA Online as the Walton makes a successful run to the lighthouse. Good job, bud. Okay, talking about the Washington now. Is there a more iconic town car than the Washington? Own a piece of living history. Just don't loiter for too long at traffic lights, or someone will get in the back and ask you to take them to the airport. All right, from the wiki. The Washington is a range of executive sedans found in Vice City, San Andreas, Vice City Stories, and GTA 4 and GTA 5. All right, let's think about read about the design here. In Vice City, the design is based primarily on the 1982 to 1987 Lincoln Continental, while also sharing styling elements with American full-size sedans such as the Cadillac Seville, the BMW 7 Series E23, and the Cadillac Cimarron. The Washington features a generally boxy yet contemporary design, resulting in the car being one of the newest cars at the time in Vice City's 1980s setting. All right, performance. Well, we're going to see it here on our test drive. But before GTA 4, Washingtons are generally regarded as having only moderate performance with an inline 6 engine coupled to a 5-speed gearbox and a front engine rear-wheel drive configuration. However, and then there's something about Vice City Stories, and we can skip that part. Let's keep going here. It mentions the FBI Washington variant, which we already talked about in a previous vehicles video. Special variants in Vice City. In the mission All Hands on Deck, there are 2 unique black Washingtons seen driven by the French. I hate the French. I don't actually hate the French. I was just quoting Cortez there. It's possible to reach the cars and enter them, but it's impossible to drive them as the mission immediately ends and the car is lost. It's also impossible to push the cars to a garage as an alternative, as the player is only given a brief window of time before Cortez is killed, leading to mission failure, which warps the player back to the nearby mission trigger with the cars vanished. Whatever. Let's see if we can get this test drive happening here with our 6 stars just to spice things up. Okay, so the appearances and missions, like I mentioned, All Hands on Deck and Sunshine Auto's Import Garage. I don't see any notable owners here in Vice City. Squeeze between those 2 trucks. And jump down to the trivia section. The Washington's name is likely a reference to America's capital city, Washington, D.C., as the car is an executive vehicle, and to George Washington, the first president of the United States. The vehicle's similarities to the Lincoln Town Car are a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Oh, two presidents. Okay. The Washington is one of 4 cars to be named after a U.S. president, the other 3 being the Jefferson, the Monroe, and the Roosevelt. That's pretty neat. According to the official website, the Vice City official website, the Washington is imported from the United Kingdom. In the Xbox version of Vice City, the Washington only spawns in white. And then I just see some trivia from some of the other games, but who cares about the other games? And it mentions here that the Esperanto, which is a vehicle we've already seen in this series of vehicle videos, appears similar to the 3D universe Washington. All right, the Washington appears to be doing well. We got some white smoke here. We got our left turn coming up. Look out. Moving on to our penultimate land vehicle in this collection of vehicles videos, we have the Yankee City Hall. Oh, I got it. City Hall, like City, H-A-L-L, the government building. That's pretty cool. All right, reading from the wiki. First, the Yankee has no fixed spawns, which is why we found one for you here in the wild. The Yankee is a large commercial truck featured in both the 3D and HD universes. It is manufactured by Vapid in the HD universe. In all its appearances, actually, let's just read the 3D universe version. The Yankee is loosely based on, this is the GTA 3 version, on the Ford F700 and is predominantly designed to be one of the largest straight trucks available in the games, having a tall nose, a large grille in the center, and square-shaped headlights, as well as a boxed cargo compartment, which in Vice City would contain actual cargo. In Vice City, the truck gains minor tweaks to the model, such as a slightly rounded front bumper with circular vents and no license plate. Fair enough. We're going to jump past the performance here and take a look at the liveries. So these are just the side, the advertisements on the side. So this one here is City Hall. There's another one in Vice City, which advertises Hall, H-A-U-L. As another one advertises Marlin Fish Factories, and finally the last one advertises R.S.N.L. Bows, B-O-W-S. Okay, fair enough. We'll keep on looking here. Prominent appearances in missions, none in this game, but it was required in the GTA 3 Import, Export, and Garage, the first one on Portland. Okay, moving on to the trivia section. The Yankee has appeared in other Rockstar games. A white Yankee with a dirty blue cargo hold can be found parked in an industrial yard in Bully, while Yankees appear both in Manhunt and Manhunt 2. The Yankees are not interactive in any of those appearances. Yankee is a slang term for an American. It could also be named after the professional baseball team, the New York Yankees. In Vice City, San Andreas, and Vice City Stories, if the player breaks off the rear shutter, it's possible to see the contents of the truck. For example, a fish truck will be carrying containers or crates of fish. A butcher truck will be carrying meat, etc. However, plain trucks tend to be empty. The Trashmaster shares its cab with that of the Yankee in Vice City, San Andreas, and Vice City Stories. So naturally, I had to test this out. I've got 4 different Yankees here. The left one is the haul truck. It's got generic boxes. The next one has no labels on the side of the truck, and it's empty. This one here is the butcher company advertising on the side of the truck, and we've got cases of red meat and blood all over that third truck. And then this fourth one is the fish one. What a cool detail. The final land vehicle I have up for sale is the Zebra Cab. How cool does this thing look with all of those stripes? That is awesome. The Zebra Cab has one fixed spawn sometimes. So let's start with the prominent appearances in missions from the wiki. The Zebra Cab first appears in the final Kaufman Cabs mission called Cabmageddon, where it's driven by the owner of Vice City Cabs. He attempts to run down the player and must be killed either by destroying his cab or by firing through the windshield at him. And so then once you pass Cabmageddon, the Zebra Cab spawns right there inside of the Kaufman Cabs building. But prior to the Zebra Cab being there, it's a Kaufman Cab in that location once you've purchased the Kaufman Cabs asset. So the building is closed until you purchase the Kaufman Cabs asset, and then once you make that purchase, it's a Kaufman Cab fixed spawn right there until you pass Cabmageddon, at which point it becomes this Zebra Cab for the rest of the playthrough. Okay, let's read a bit about the Zebra Cab from the wiki. The Zebra Cab is a special taxi featured in Vice City. This is the only game that has the Zebra Cab. It's a variant of the Cabby with a yellow and black zebra livery pattern, as well as darker metal trim and bumpers. Although not visible, the vehicle spawns in a dark red primary color with a gray secondary color, which is a color combination directly copied from the Borgnine, which was a special Cabby variant in GTA 3. So I don't know how they know that I mean, I guess it's like a dark red primary underneath the yellow and black. Maybe that's something that somebody discovered in the code, but you can't see it. Okay, the vehicle has superior performance to both the standard Cabby and the Kaufman Cab with slightly improved top speed, acceleration, and handling. It also has a heavier mass capable of pushing most cars with ease. The key benefits of the Zebra Cab is in the taxi driver side missions. Passengers in a Zebra Cab will never complain about the time taken for a journey. Well, that's pretty cool. Like the Cabby and Kaufman Cab, the vehicle uses a petrol engine and a 4-speed gearbox that powers the rear wheels. Similar to the Kaufman Cab, it emits the sound of a high-performance engine, most likely supercharged. Okay, and as I mentioned, there is a Borgnine taxi variant, Cabby variant in GTA 3, and also there's a taxi variant in Liberty City Stories called the Bickle 76. All right, so as this is our last vehicle in the land vehicles list of options that I have available for sale, we can just talk a tiny bit about some of the conclusions of this land vehicles series. So far in this vehicles series, I have shown you 87 vehicles, including the 4 RC vehicles. Out of those 87 vehicles, 55 of them had fixed spawns, at least one fixed spawn, and 17 out of 87 made it all the way to the lighthouse. This is not the end of the vehicles video series. I've got 2 left, one on aircraft and one on boats, so stick with me if you're interested in coming to the showroom and potentially buying yourself an aircraft or a boat. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.